In this movie, we'll cover the usage of the first external method, linked styles. Basically, a linked style sheet is much like an embedded sheet. The only difference is the location that the styles will reside. As we have mentioned before, external methods store the style information in an external .css file, but the style information that goes in them is identical to the styles placed in the embedded sheet. Because the style information is in another document, we have to associate that document with our HTML somehow. So we link to it using the link tag, which should be placed in the head of the document. Now we do need to make sure that we have specific attributes that are in this tag, otherwise the browser may not read the style sheet appropriately. So first we need to set up the href, which is the location of our style sheet. Then we need to set up what type of style information is in there, and also what the relationship is. Now the reason we have to set all these things up is because our link tag can also be used to link to other types of documents, including things like favorite icons and things like that. So just make sure that you include the href, the type, and the rel. The only attribute that will be different when you implement this is what the href is for your specific style sheet. Now by setting up this external CSS, I can reference and use these styles across an entire website. Now each page will just need to add this link, and then when I change the CSS file, all the documents that link to it will be updated as well. Additionally, we can add as many linked CSS files as we want. So that's pretty cool and pretty handy. Now let's just go ahead and jump over into our sandbox and convert our embedded sheet into a linked sheet. Now to do this, I actually need to create a new document. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Notepad. And so I'll go ahead and go in here and save. And I need to go ahead and I'll browse to a specific file location. So I'll go to my sandbox. I'll go ahead and put that in with my O3 files. And I'm going to call this main.css. I'll click Save. Then I need to jump over into my sandbox. And I'll go ahead and just grab all of the style information. Now notice, I am not grabbing the style tag, because with this method I don't need the style tag, because we're going to be linking in, and that link is going to define what type of style information this is. So I'll go ahead and just cut that. Go over to my blank document and paste that in. There we go. I'll go ahead and clean that up a little bit. Okay, and once I have it cleaned up, I'll go ahead and save it, and then jump back into my sandbox, and I'll add in my link. Now it is recommended that we place this link above any embedded style sheets. So I'll go ahead and do link href main.css and type equal text/CSS, and then relationship, or the rel attribute, is that it's a style sheet, and then I close the tag. Alright, I'll go ahead and save that. And whenever I refresh my browser, I shouldn't see any difference at all. So how do I know it even worked? Well, I know it worked because the styles are still being affected. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into my external sheet here, and I'm going to uncomment the body and change it to orange. So I'll save and jump back over into my browser and refresh, and there we go. So that's a look at one of the most commonly used methods of CSS placement. It's an extremely powerful method because it does allow us to update an entire website with just one CSS file.